Let's say you just saw a French person do something very, very well and you want to tell them, that's really well done, and you tell them, bien fait. You're very proud of yourself because you just tried something and you think that this is how it translates, but the person in front of you looks hurt and doesn't understand what's happening. Well, you just fell into a very classical trap of everyday French, because bien fait does not translate into well done at all. It's quite the opposite. So today I'm going to show you what to say instead. Bonjour, I'm Géraldine, your French teacher. Welcome to Comme une Française. I'm here to help you get better at understanding and speaking everyday French. This is what you will be able to do after watching this lesson. If you're a beginner, you will learn how to never use bien fait and why. If you're intermediate, try to think about what bien fait means. And if you're advanced, learn how to congratulate someone in French. Well done translates into bien fait. And most of the time, doing word-for-word translation helps a lot, especially if you want to understand something. You have a very good and reliable translation if you're using something like Google Translate, for example. That's good enough for most of the things. But there are some exceptions, for example, les faux amis, and these kind of very small expressions where a direct translation does not work. And there is something very funny with bien fait, is that if you look at the dictionary, it might tell you that it's the same. But actually, there's always some context around it that tells you that, yeah, it's the same. But only in a phrase, for example. On its own, bien fait do not translate into well done. And it actually means the exact opposite of well. Well done, that's very good. No. Okay, so I told you about word-for-word translation, but actually, bien fait, what does it mean? Because I said it's the opposite of well done. Well, bien fait on its own means served you right. So it's a good way to say something about revenge, something bad that happened to you, and you want to show the person that, yeah, they kind of deserved it, this kind of thing. So it's exactly the opposite of well done. For example, tu as mangé trop de bonbons et maintenant tu es malade, bien fait. Tu as mangé trop de bonbons et maintenant tu es malade, bien fait. You ate too many sweets and now you're sick, you deserved it. Also, you can use it where you precise who it's about. For example, c'est bien fait pour toi, or c'est bien fait pour lui. You deserved it, or he deserved it, or something bad happened to you and you deserved it, something bad happened to him and you deserved it. So if you say c'est bien fait pour toi, you obviously refer to something that you mentioned before, because here you do not say what happened that is bad. C'est bien fait pour toi, c'est bien fait pour lui. You can add anything after pour if you want to mention who you're talking about. C'est bien fait pour. So you can see it means it served you right. Something bad happened to you and you deserved it, which is the complete opposite of well done. Okay, so maybe now you're scared because you've been using well done for 10 years. So how can you congratulate someone instead? Also, if you've been using well done for several years, it's fine. I mean, it's a very classic mistake. Lots of people do it. Teachers do it. It's fine. So just stop using it and move on. So how can you congratulate someone? You can say bravo. You can say félicitations as well. Bravo or félicitations. Félicitations is obviously congratulations. Félicitations, and they're used in the same way. You can also say c'est super. C'est super, that's great. C'est génial, c'est génial. Or c'est fantastique, c'est fantastique. All mean it's great. C'est super, c'est génial, c'est fantastique. Also, if you want to say that you're impressed by something that the other person did, you can say je suis impressionné. Je suis impressionné. Je suis impressionné. Here, what can you notice in the words below? You can see that I put un E entre parenthèses, because if you're a woman like me, you would put an E on top at the end. And if you're a man, you would not, okay? So there's a feminine and a masculine. Je suis impressionné, and you can notice as well that I do la liaison. I say je suis impressionné, not je suis impressionné, okay? You can also give your opinion on something, not just congratulate them. You can say c'est très beau, it's beautiful. C'est très beau, c'est très beau. Or if you're talking about food, c'est très bon, c'est très bon. Don't mix them, please. It's a very common mistake. C'est très beau, beautiful. C'est très bon, it's very good for food, for example. I want to say something for advanced students. It's that bien fait can actually translate into well done only if it's in a sentence, okay? And this is why lots of students often come back to me saying, yeah, but my dictionary says that it's actually well done, so are you lying? No, it's because it's in a sentence, and very often in a dictionary we only read what we want to read and not what the actual meaning is. So you can use c'est bien fait in order to say that a work is well done. So for example, un travail bien fait, a job well done. So you see, bien fait is not alone here, and this is what matters the most. However, if you're not advanced, I highly recommend you forget about that, because you're going to make much more mistakes by misusing bien fait than you're going to make good things if you just think you're right. So remember that bien fait does not translate into well done. And if you're advanced, that bien fait can mean something good if it's used in a sentence to qualify something that you're talking about. So for example, un travail bien fait, a job well done. Okay, that was important for me to tell you because I want to give you the context of why I'm teaching you this today. Okay, bien fait is a very, very common mistake, and I see so many students, even books making it, books teaching French, that it just drives me a little bit mad. And today I wanted you to avoid this mistake. Today we saw bien fait, which is a very, very common mistake. If you want to see more of those and avoid these embarrassing mistakes in French, check out this playlist where I'm doing a recap of lots of other mistakes that lots of students make and that you can avoid just by discovering them. So I will let you check out this playlist and I will see you in the next video. À tout de suite!